And we're back, man. Another week. Grateful to be back, man. Now joining us full time here, we do have the man himself, Sonny Wilson. Man, Sonny, thanks for coming
right.
Thanks for coming in, man. Yeah.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Of course, man. No, we're glad to add you to the team, man. You bring some stuff to the table that we don't all exactly do ourselves, man. That's what we look for. We look for something different, something fresh, something unique. You got that, man. So welcome aboard. We're happy to have you on, man. It's been a busy week for me. I mean, regarding work and everything, I've been slightly paying attention to what's been going on, but man, the biggest thing I noticed, especially because just living out here in Florida and Miami, and one of the most blue and liberal counties out here, is that, man, COVID's over. It's over. I'm sorry, y'all. It's over. Man, these mandates are done. They put up signs at the gym now. I go to lift. They say wearing a mask is recommended. Like recommended, highly recommended. Like, man, it's not mandatory. That's over. Publix and all the corporations, man, they took it away. They said if you're vaccinated, you're good. They can't check your vaccination records. They can't ask to see nothing. It's over. So I don't know what it's like out there. You in Illinois or Missouri?
I'm in Illinois. Yeah. I work close to Missouri, but Illinois, we're still I work at a college, so it's still, we haven't heard the guidelines for the college yet. Though the CDC has obviously said that, we don't have to wear masks if you've been vaccinated. But, the college has been talking about maybe, seeing people if they're vaccinated or not. But like there's no way you're going to be able to keep that up. So I feel like here soon they're going to lower the regulations of the mask, which honestly, I'd be forgetting mine anyway. I'm going to be honest.
Man, the biggest thing for me was in the middle of all this, it's been a year. I refuse to be programmed to it. I refuse to have that natural instinct. I was like, man, I'm just going to live free the best I can every day. I'm not going to just think, oh, where's the mask? Where's the mask? Like, that's not on my mind. Like, it's just not going to be on my mind like that. My first instinct when I walk in somewhere is to put something over my face. Like, I'm not going to do it. So, and there's a lot of people where that's unfortunately happened, man. We had a lot of conditioning, a lot of programming. Some people are just stuck in that. I was like the only person in public shopping one day. Everybody else wearing masks. Just me out there not doing it. Like, man, people are afraid, or they're just conditioned and don't care. I don't know. But, man,
like you said, I think a lot of it stems from people being conditioned, because I know people will walk out and literally keep their mask on outside in their car and all this stuff. And then you're like, why do you have your mask on? They're like, oh, I forgot I had it on. It's just something that happens where when you continuously do it and then you forget that you have it on. And it's just like you said, not me. I don't want to be in that place where I'm sitting here wearing a mask every day, all day, hardly can breathe, coughing, my immune system, pulling in all that stuff. And people don't even wash their mask anyway. That's one big thing that always, you see a lot of people take their mask off and they're just filthy. It's just there's no way I'm about to be sitting wearing that all day long.
No, man, the hygiene isn't there for it. I mean, the only good thing to come out of this at the gym was that people started wiping down their equipment finally. You're supposed to be doing this. How you get staph, MRSA, ringworm, and all the nastiness. So at least people are wiping down and washing their hands. I know we had to have all this happen for people to wash their hands, but at least people started to wash their hands.
That's a sad thing, man.
There's some nasty people out there.
It's something. I know in Mississippi, we just fully reopened. I know the governor is no longer requiring schools to wear masks mandatory. So everyone is recommended to wear a mask, but it's not mandatory to wear a mask anymore in Mississippi. Now I have to wear a mask because the place where I work nationwide, they're making their employees wear masks, and it's a pain in the butt. But at least everyone else doesn't have to wear masks. So I guess that's a win.
No, I mean, yeah, the employers are still doing that to some people. I feel bad. Also really glad I don't work for a company like that, because I wouldn't be flying anymore. I'd be out. I'd be done. Wait, I got family back in California, and even a lot of businesses, especially the gyms, are saying, even despite CDC recommendations, we're going to go with what California says, not the CDC. So, all right, so we're not going to follow science anymore. We're just going to follow authoritarian, people up at the top of the ladder here in California. We're not going to go by the science. It's never been about that. So, yeah, they still make them wear a mask at the gym and do everything else until, was it June 15th officially they get to reopen? Setting it down to an arbitrary date without numbers backing it. It's just nonsense.
Wow.
It's so nonsense. Yeah. And
It's nonsense, bro.
People are still going along with it, man. My dad isn't going along with it. He's done. He goes to other places where you have to wear it, but I'm like, man, you just gotta just not do it. Watch other people not do it. Just go ahead and just do it. And
did you guys see that clip of that little boy, about 10 years old or so, give a speech to a board?
Yeah, Martin County, Florida. That's out by me out here. Like
I did.
Yeah.
Man, I was surprised, like, for a young guy like that to not only just give a speech in front of a crowd like that, to be as articulate as he was and to be able to, expound on what he was trying to convey. I was like, man, like, that's legit. That boy going places, because if I was 10, I'd probably been up there shaking like a leaf,
Man. He let him, man, he did his thing out there. He let him know. Yeah. And that's the one thing too, is education, and we've seen the union takeover happen in this last year. It's not been about safety. Oh, we're gonna die. Teachers aren't gonna die teaching kids in person. They just don't want to teach kids in person. And
teachers
can't even for it, man.
I mean, kids can't even get it like that.
No.
So it's like, what are you scared of? Other teachers?
You guys, you know what? The one good thing that may have came out of that with the teachers, not saying that they're gonna die, because obviously they're not, but maybe in public schools, maybe the classroom sizes will shrink. I remember at the public school here in Macomb, we had 30, 40 kids slammed in one class, and that was the advanced classes. So maybe they'll shrink down on some of those class sizes. Maybe the test scores will go up. Maybe we'll get more graduates. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe that's a blessing in disguise.
The best thing that can happen from here is parents taking their kids out of public school and putting them into either private schools or charter schools if they're available. That's the best thing that can come out of this. And hopefully those schools lose money. Like they keep saying, we need to fund educate. No, we need to defund that nonsense, because we've spent way too much money to get no results out of it. It's literally run by the unions. They don't care for the sake of the kids. It's never been about the kids. It's always been about them. Quality education has gone down the toilet. The school to prison pipeline's a real thing in the inner cities. They haven't done anything to change it.
Not just the inner cities. It's here in the rural areas too.
Yeah.
When I was in elementary school, what do we have to do? We had to walk in the line with our hands in our pocket or behind our back. Everywhere we went. That's literally what they do in prisons. So it happens everywhere in any public school, and it's a complete shame.
It is a shame.
Go ahead.
No, I work. I don't work at a public school, but I work at a college, and just to see what I do at the college is I work with a lot of students, and just to see so many students not show up, nobody wants to be there because not only just because of fear, but because they're like, I can do my classes at home. Like I'm not showing up anymore.
Right.
And then it's just sad, really. It's like a ghost town. And then of course all the faculty and the staff trying to make things work, and there was a big not a layoff, but they basically gave incentive for people to retire because of COVID and stuff like that. So like the school itself is changing, which I think is for the good in some regard, but in other places it's like, no, like this ain't a good look. And it's all because of, like you said, like the mask. Like a student could rather do their schooling virtually than show up in class, because nobody wants to go to school and wear a mask all day long for 8 hours or however long your classes are. If you have the full schedule, then you're usually at the school for 8 hours or more, and you have to wear your mask the whole time. Yeah, like, no.
No, and they just caught this guy out here, one of the school superintendents out here in Miami, who makes all the students here wear masks during PE, outside during PE, make kids wear masks. They showed him running around with friends and stuff outdoor exercising with no mask on. So, man, what's up with these people? What's up with all this? It's nonsense. This is dumb. Lori Lightfoot said she's going to keep wearing masks outside because then they literally caught her in 4K outside at a social event, not wearing masks. Like, I don't know if this stuff is
Let her. let her. Who cares what Lori Lightfoot does?
You can't say one
let's
thing
get
and do
people.
the opposite. That's why I care. I can't stand these people, bro.
Bro,
Can't handle it.
she is the most
when she can
in the whole.
when she can clean up. When she can clean up the crime and especially the black on black crime and black on black killings out in Chicago, then she can talk. Until then, I don't want to hear anything from Miss Lightfoot.
It's not going to happen. That somebody referenced her to Beetlejuice not too long ago.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But like, you just be like, man, the things that she does, it makes absolutely no sense. She hasn't done anything worth note. You can kind of dislike a person for some of the policies they have, but she has done nothing, absolutely nothing since she got in office. And I'm like, why are they voting these people in? And you can't really blame the people that get in office. You got to blame the people who vote them in. It's like, what is wrong with y'all? It's like blaming the kid for something they did when the parents is not correcting them at home. It's like, that's not their fault. It's just whack.
Right.
Thankfully,
Yeah.
I live in Illinois.
It's crazy because Chicago cops literally today just issued a vote of no confidence to Mayor Lori Lightfoot today. The police don't back her. They don't support her because she doesn't support them. So it's so dysfunctional. And everybody blamed Rahm Emanuel because he was a clown. He was terrible. Then they elected somebody equally as bad or possibly worse. Like, it's just dumb. It makes no sense, man.
And like you said, like the policing just in the state alone, there is a policing reform that's happening next month. And a lot of policing, since I was a former officer, a lot of the police friends that I have know, they're literally getting out of it because they're like, we don't have to deal with this reform. They're like, it's not worth it. If you're a bunch of young guys who are jumping in it, they're like, maybe you won't know the difference because you don't know what it used to be like. But they're like, for us who are, in it, close to 20 years, they're like, we're just retiring. Those that already have retired and are just working at different departments, getting their, another pension. They're like, no, I'm good. They're like, I'm about to go live out my retirement. I'm already fine. Like deuces, And so I'm just like, yeah, it's just sad to see the officers in our communities not even wanting to do their job because of the flack they can catch for doing their job correctly, which is really sad.
No, it doesn't matter what it is. No matter what, you're gonna say, why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? I don't know. In a split second, what are you gonna do? I mean, it's a big. What are you gonna do in that split second? Whatever something happens,
Right.
Running up on a situation, and I talk to people every day, and some of them legitimately think that it is a decent idea to bring social workers to domestic disputes. I think it's one of the worst ideas ever. Those are some of the most violent cases you could ever have. One of the most violent situations. The officer shows up and gets ambushed, starts getting a dude shooting at him from down the stairs. You see the videos everywhere, man. This stuff isn't safe. It's not safe at all. You're going to send us get massacred and slaughtered. Like, for what?
Exactly. And like you said, they are statistically even proven to be the most dangerous cases that an officer can go to, domestic violence cases. And so when they arrive, especially, they're already on guard. That's worse than doing it to a traffic stop. And you're trying to bring a social worker in here to talk to people who are already up in arms and mad, and angry. Like, we don't need. And what I do think is something that should be, available is that officers maybe have training in that area. But not just some social worker with no weapons, no nothing, walking in and being a liability to the officers when they're trying to do their job. Now I got to get you out of the way and get myself out of the way. Make sure we all got everything copacetic because this whatever's going on in whatever situation. It's like, no, that's just dumb. And then only the people who've never been in that situation or don't even know anything about policing are the ones that say that stuff.
Man, it's a recipe for disaster through and through. Every time I look at how that plays out, because you don't know, man. It's always if a woman calls the cops and she all of a sudden she changes her mind and now she's got her man's back and now you got to deal with the 2-on-1 situation. Now he's coming after you, she goes support her man's or whatever. Like it's just crazy nonsense like that. You don't even know, and you're gonna go walk into a completely bizarre, unknown situation because all you do is you get the dispatch call saying you got a domestic dispute at this house. Blah blah blah. These are what people look like, and that's it.
Right.
Hey, you don't know that whole background of like what's gonna, man.
I mean, you can just watch Live PD on YouTube and see all the domestic disputes they go to. And there was one where the grandma ended up getting shot. She had nothing to do with this. She was just there. She ended up getting shot because she's in the way. It's just like, but we're going to bring a social worker in here. No,
social worker.
Get out of here.
Okay. I want to know something. Wouldn't this put more women in trouble and in harm's way because aren't there more women social workers than men?
Yeah,
I believe so.
yeah. I don't know the
Oh, I mean,
statistic, but there's definitely.
So the left, so is the left really pro women? Is what I want to know.
I mean, it's ACAB. It's ACAB, man. Come on, it ain't about nothing else but ACAB and ACAB, Free Palestine, BLM plus LGBTQ, AIP, and trans this and that. I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, everything else gets swept under the rug. They don't care about nothing else. I mean,
Nothing else.
It's the greater good. Their idea of the big picture,
right?
So somebody has to cover.
Too much here, but I found it funny how you when you mentioned like Palestine, and it's so funny because all the hate that's going towards the Jews right now, and nobody's saying nothing about the Jews. They're not saying Jews' lives matter, or like they did the Asians. They're not saying nothing like that, and it's so funny because they're saying like literally allow free Palestine, which Hamas is killing the Israelis. But what's her name, Gina or Marcon or whatever her name was, who joined Ben Shapiro? They literally canceled her for saying something anti-Semitic. But they ain't saying nothing now. It's such a double standard. It's hilarious.
No, I mean, that situation, I've been trying to hear people out, and man, all I know is I don't want to be in the middle of it. What's going on out there, man, I don't want to be in the middle of that.
Facts.
No. Yo, that situation is bad news. And then here in America, it's trickling over here. You have a bunch of people who don't know anything about what's going on whatsoever. I have the gall to say, hey, guys, I'm not that well educated on this topic. I'm not really going to weigh in. But these people they're picking the side. They're standing out there and they're trying to whoop people up for no dang reason. They don't know nothing. Man.
And the problem with society today is they jump on things and just jump on the bandwagon without hearing anything at all. For instance, like I'm always the person where I'll never move quickly on anything because a lot of times when you do that, you have to what you said, and you look really stupid later. But I have friends who are literally from Israel, and then I have some friends who live in the Palestinian area who they live in America now, and so they both give me both sides of the view. But what it is obviously Hamas is kind of controlling Palestine. So I mean, when you say free Palestine, I kind of agree with that because it's Hamas that's doing all this, but like you said here, supporting Hamas is supporting terrorism, and they're the ones controlling Palestine. Yes. I don't really think it's Palestine in and of itself. It's Hamas, which is a terrorist group that's doing all this. And in the reports, like literally, my friend of mine, she was in the Israeli military because it's the idea. Anybody who lives in Israel has to be in the military, and she was in the military. So, she gave me a lot of information on this stuff, and of course, what is going on. And she has friends over there right now who know all the inside information because they're literally defending Israel. And it's just like, thankfully I have that information, but nobody has it. A lot of people don't have that information. And I'm not saying you can't give, your opinion or something or where you stand on something just because, like, if Hamas is a terrorist organization, well, by all means, support Israel, but at the same time, it's like people just jump on things without actually getting all the evidence and both sides of the story, and they look really salty later.
So, Sonny, I want to ask you something. Yeah. Do you believe in a two-state solution? Is that where you're kind of going with it, or do you believe Israel should just have the entire, well, not the entire region, but have the entire slate of land?
So I don't really think a two-state solution, though it seems as a better option just to, stop the conflict. I don't believe it will stop the conflict. I don't think it's actually going to work out that way because you can't stop people from hating each other. You might ceasefire, make a two-state solution, but they literally, these two nations have enmity against each other for centuries, since almost the beginning of time almost. And so, I don't think that's the solution. But Israel, founded their country, again, back in the 1940s. And that was part of it. And then, of course, the fighting that happened between them, trying to who has control over Jerusalem and things like that. And I think what Trump did, obviously putting the embassy in Jerusalem, make that statement like this is Israel's, and that's what needs to happen is that Israel, which I do believe it's their territory, they need somebody backing them like the U.S., allowing people to know, hey, we're backing it. Because we've seen it when Trump was in office, when he put the embassy in Jerusalem, there was no attacks on Israel. They knew you attack Israel, you messing with the United States. And obviously Israel being the country that it is and not having, the type of military that we have, they need a bigger backing than what they have at the moment. But we see Biden is actually funding. He gave what, if I stand to be corrected, but I think it was $170 million for COVID relief to Palestine, and it just ended up in the Hamas.
Yeah, and who took a hold of that money?
Right.
You know, who took a hold of that money, and then it goes off and signs over like another how many hundreds of millions to Israel for weapons, this, that. So I'm like, man, you're just gonna fuel the fire? Like, what's the deal here, man? Like, you're gonna play both sides on this, like, and see who comes out on top. Like, man, what's the, what's that?
You know, I'll say this: taking the Christian perspective, it's all prophetic. It's all prophecy coming true. Especially with Trump putting the embassy in Jerusalem. Putting it back in Jerusalem. It's all prophecy unveiling itself and coming to pass, and it has to come to pass. That's why I know a two-state solution can't work, because the Bible speaks against it. There is no way that a two-state solution is going to work. So obviously it's a sad situation, but at the same time, the Bible's got to come to pass. I'm ready to go. Well, I'm not ready to go just yet, but
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
I want the end times to come on and come on. If the end times are coming on, it's time to go.
It's crunch time for real, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, that biblical aspect of it being that, the Bible said those that bless Israel, God's going to bless, and those that curse Israel, God's going to curse. And we find, I've heard some of the sides actually here recently about people like, oh, that's not really the nation of Israel that God blessed and all this. But God has a chosen people. And he said, this is going to be my people perpetually, which is forever. I mean, that doesn't change. And now the Bible said that those that are of Israel are not all Israel. And we also find that we are counted under the faith of Abraham. But God still has his own chosen people who are in the fold. Obviously, I don't believe Jews of Judaism, are God's people. I believe ethnic Jews. Just because you believe in Judaism doesn't make you God's people. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are ethnic Jews that are of that lineage of the old.
You know who that includes, right?
What's that?
You know who that includes, right?
Who's that?
Our friend Bernie Sanders.
He's an ethnic Jew?
Yes.
I heard he was a Jew, but I didn't know whether he was religiously Jew or ethnic Jew. Oh, that's good.
Ethnic Jew. I don't think he believes in anything.
In name only. In name only. Oh, really? In name only there.
Right. What is that? A gyno?
Yeah, that's a
Jew in name only.
In name only. In name only. Yeah.
I'm dead.
Heavy percentage of people, especially in America, are identify as like agnostic or atheist. It's very, very, very interesting that people
have got to be interesting.
Belief, man. So back to education here. Actually, we're lucky enough that some states are kind of going through with it, with finally ending the mandates. Most notably, Kim Reynolds, the governor of Iowa, signed into legislation Thursday that blocked mask mandates from being implemented in K-12 schools, and it stopped cities and counties from requiring facial coverings in businesses. So, I mean, that's over. So Iowa gets it done.
Awesome.
It's Iowa. I mean, there's not too many people there. Love you, Jordan, wherever she's at. She's washed out. No, but it's Iowa. But I mean, it means something.
We love you, Jordan. We love you.
Like, geez, man. I mean, we're talking about the kids here, man. What's it? It does no benefit for the kids, and the thing is, you can't condition these kids forever and think that they're like, it's just mess. I think it's psychologically messed up, man. It almost gets into abuse, honestly, when I start to think about how this impacts the kids. Putting this on all day, 8 hours a day, and say you have to wear this, and if you don't. And then I just saw a video on a school bus. This girl refused to put on the school bus, and the bus driver slapped her across the face. I was like, all right, this is too much.
But not having a mask on?
Oh yeah, he went to jail too. He went to jail and then they bailed out, bonded out. But he slapped the girl across the face. Oh yeah, and these people are drunk with power. People are drunk with power. They want to feel important. They want to feel good about themselves. They think they're doing the right thing, and they're just going crazy.
And what's so funny to me is that it's so sad that you feel good about yourself for slapping a little kid. That's how you get your power. My authority comes from ruling over little children. It's just sick. That's just sick, man.
People are sick. It is sick, and
talk about
really what the entire
Go ahead. We'll get into sick people after this.
I'm just saying, it really with this whole mass situation with kids, these are their formative years. This is during these years, whatever they learn, they're really going to take with them for the rest of their life, especially at a very young age. Making them wear a mask and conditioning them, they're going to want to wear a mask when they're older. Why? Because they're used to it. The longer COVID goes, and the more you make them put on a mask, they're going to want to do this forever. Next thing you know, everyone's going to wear a mask in 2040, which I hope is not the case. It better not be the case because I'm not wearing one. But still in all, that's what you're doing when you're forcing kids to do this.
Right.
Spread out the room if you want to. If you want to spread out the room, I don't care.
Right.
But don't force those kids to do that.
I agree. You can like social distance, like you said, put them, space them out. And my thing too, is, and this is my biggest thing, is the kids. It's statistically proven that they can't even get it, COVID, like an adult can. I'm not saying that they can't because there has been a couple cases where kids have, but it's rare. And so to even put masks in to try to, you want your kid to get COVID. And even if they did get COVID, the likelihood of them dying from COVID is slim to none. And so it's like, who's at fear here? The teachers? Are you scared of other teachers? Like, don't make the kids put a mask on because they don't need it. Maybe you need it with other teachers or faculty or staff. But these children, you're putting the mask on them. Like I said, they have to wear it all day. They're trying to grow. They're trying to breathe. Now they got depression. They got bronchitis because they're breathing through a wet, soggy mask all day long. It's just like, pneumonia. Like we see some of this stuff coming past because the kids wearing this stuff all day long. And it's just like, this is killing the kids. The mask is killing the kids, not COVID.
And how do we reward people for getting a vaccination? We give them crappy food to eat. We give
them donuts. We give them
donuts. Right. Yeah. Like, man, talk about.
Oh my God.
Literally, the cause of all this stuff could be averted. Literally, if people took better care of themselves, we're not going to have that conversation. We're not going to have that conversation. You take better care of yourself, it's acceptable, man.
Right.
It'd be like, fat shaming. I'm like, fat shaming. But here's the thing: if we fat shamed instead of mass shamed, we would have had a lot less people die.
Thank you.
I'm saying, like, it hurts people. It hurts people. That's how you can't fat shame, but bro, it's a fact. like it's what it is. People are like, you're gonna mask. Me not putting on a mask ain't stopping you from eating that triple pounder over there, homie. Like, you got to put that down and pick up that and get running. Like, I don't know what to say. Like,
the only benefit from COVID is that people are finally washing their hands and cleaning the restrooms.
Right.
And all the cleaning is the only thing, the only benefit from COVID. And it's so funny because I saw a meme one day and it basically said, y'all, some of y'all know y'all nasty because y'all just start cleaning. It's because y'all scared of getting COVID. And I'm like, that's so true. How many bathrooms were actually cleaned, like in airports and restaurants and stuff like that before COVID? Rails were clean, or whatever the situation was.
I can tell you before COVID in any airport, when I saw the difference between before COVID and after COVID with restrooms, I'm telling you, it's something.
Yeah.
No, it's just they were way over the top. Unfortunately, that was the one thing. But you want to talk about crazy people here. I got something for crazy people here for y'all. This is one of the latest ones to come out here. Demi Lovato has officially changed pronouns to they them, and she came into her truth. I feel bad a little bit, and some of it I'm fed up, and I don't care anymore. Like, I'm gonna let her have it and I'm done. But like, man, like, you all saw the video where she went unhinged on her rant because this place had didn't put down that there were vegan options or something like that. They made explicitly known that
some ice cream joint,
they were non-vegan, and I'm like, bro,
not every place serves that.
Right. That's how expensive that garbage is. How expensive that stuff is. You think everybody can just afford it and put that up there just to serve you. And now she's off on this stuff here too. Bro, she's just not well in the head. I thought she was unhinged there. She's even more unhinged now.
Bro, she's almost like another Lindsay Lohan now. Like, remember Lindsay Lohan when we were growing up? She was going to therapy and she had all these, addictions and all this type of
Still
stuff.
probably is. Still
And,
probably is.
And Britney Spears too. Like, she's another one of them. And I'm sorry to say it. Like, I will say she's a great singer. She's one of the best female singers that I can actually say. Her, like Ariana Grande, they're one of the two great singers. But when it comes down to personality and their lifestyle, you can do it's a free country. But when you're switching on or off where, I'm like, man, now I'm pansexual, and then now I'm non-binary, and then I was bisexual, and she's like, I'm coming to all these truths, but at the same time, you're having all these cognitive things going on with depression, and you overdosed, you about died, literally, you about like gave up your life.
Spoon and a lighter, man. Taking L's with that. That's bad.
I mean, her show was taken away.
Yeah,
because of that. What was it called? Sunny with a Chance on Disney. And I actually enjoyed. That was one of the shows on Disney I actually enjoyed watching. I thought it was kind of funny. But but my thing with Demi Lovato is okay, she said she came into her truth. Did she really? There's only one truth. That's Jesus Christ.
Well, there's the truth. There's the truth. That's the only truth. There is the truth. And where do you go to look for the truth? I mean, that's.
But she hasn't found that. And if she would have found that, she would have realized, okay, I'm a she. Okay, this is what I'm doing wrong. This is what I need to do to get it right. No, I'm not going to get it right on day one. But it's a process into getting right. It's a process of salvation.
She wants attention. This is a big attention grab.
That's
no
what it is.
Reason. It's all
that's what it is.
But it's like, but man, you need attention. Like, who needs to pay attention to? What do you need? You're looking for love. Like, we can tell you where to find it. You ain't gonna find it in this world from all this nonsense you keep putting out there. It's gonna leave you emptier than ever before.
And my thing with the whole, non-binary thing is, you want us to call you they them. So like, what are you just some? I really don't understand non-binary. Like, if you say like, I understand transgender more than I understand non-binary. It's like, what are you? You're the in between. like, what do you want to be? I'm not going to sit here and call you them.
I'm neither. Because I just don't feel like it today. Like,
to my understanding, it's gender non-conforming. So whatever gender they want to be, they express both male and female. Emotions and other things like that, tendencies, right? There goes the word.
So one day I can be like
that's a normal person, because women have testosterone just like men have some estrogen in their body, like male and female tendencies. Okay, cool.
Exactly.
Like, now what? Like, what? This is dumb. This is just dumb.
You're just a more masculine female today. Like, is that the case? My thing is, say this is a man, for instance. So today I feel like a woman. I'm not binary. Today I feel like a woman. Someone walking the woman's restroom today. Is that how is that how it's going to play out now? You're going to call me she today, or they them, and I get to walk in the woman's restroom. I get to do all the things that women get to do in society because I'm non-binary. Is that how that plays out?
You know what? Now I want to ask you guys something. Do you think somewhat of a solution to this whole bathroom thing is just create a third bathroom for people that don't identify in the traditional sense?
No, you can't force people to do that. That's just a waste of money.
Well,
I mean, if they want to do it on their own,
I'm serious.
If they want to do it on their own, sure, whatever. You can't be like, all right, now you got to go ahead and do this. There already are bathrooms like that. They have the family bathrooms where it's for men, women, or children, whatever. Like, they already have those bathrooms out there. That's already an option. Right. It already is for a lot of places.
And I was going to say, I'm not for like taxpayers' dollars going to that, because I wouldn't want my taxes going to something I wholly disagree with, if that was the case. But that being said, if they want to chip in and make their own restrooms, by all means, do you. Y'all can make y'all stuff for you, just like we make stuff for us. I don't expect everybody to make things for me because I'm straight male, but that's how society plays out usually. But we're going to see a conformity here soon where it's a bunch of stuff like that now where, we even see nowadays where, you have the pride parades, but if somebody has a straight parade, it's a problem. Or like super straight. You guys hear about that super straight on TikTok? I'm gonna try to,
what if I try to march on the parade with one of my super straight flags, like, this June, come this June, what's going to happen to me? Like, I don't know. Probably won't be good. But
so, Omar, have you ever heard of super straight?
Super straight.
I haven't.
So super straight is a guy on TikTok basically came up with it because they were basically saying that those of us who are straight males who didn't like transgender women who were basically men, that we were transphobic and homophobic. So what he came out with is I'm super straight. I am a man who likes biological women, not trans women. I'm super straight. And he said, since you guys can come up with all your concepts of pansexual, binary, asexual, whatever, you know, the whole spectrum they try to put out there. He said, we're making one called super straight. And what they did is they got the Pornhub basically logo of orange and black and put what it was like, both the genders symbols and put them like connected to each other, like one way, one the other way, and called it super straight. And it was a thing for a while. Like you don't really hear about it no more because people kind of shut up when you know calling people transphobic, males who are straight transphobic, because dude came up with it and he got millions and millions of views because everybody agreed with him. They're like, well, I mean, logically you're correct. Even the gays are like, I guess logically you have a point. But,
oh man, you play after own games and get mad.
That's crazy. It has to get to that point.
You beat them at their own game and they get mad. They get big mad when you beat them at their own game.
No, you know what?
It was completely satire when he made that. He wasn't making it to literally say like, "Oh, I'm super straight," but he was just completely satire, basically making a point. And then it took hold. People were like, "Dude, you're absolutely right." But you're not going to see me walking around. What are you? I'm super straight. No, I'm not saying I'm straight. There is only male and female. If I say I'm super straight, then I can actually give credence to these other genders, which I do not believe. So I am straight.
Okay, guys. Since we kind of touched on those parades for a second, what do you think about the parades that are done? I met someone that was from North Carolina while I was working in Georgia. I met him at the Faith and Freedom Conference, and he's reformed. So he used to be gay. He found the Lord, and now he's not. And he's walking through deliverance. And so he goes to this parade, I think they do in North Carolina, where it's a whole bunch of formerly gay people that found Jesus. And now they're celebrating the fact that they found Jesus and they're no longer like that. Do y'all support that kind of parade?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. People find Jesus, I celebrate that every day.
I mean, in scripture in 1 Corinthians 6, and I believe it's 20, if I can stand to be corrected, but it basically says that, you know, obviously verse 19 says that nor effeminate, you know, nor a person that abuses the Son of mankind. Goes on to say that such were some of you, but you've been washed, you've been sanctified, basically by the blood of Jesus Christ. So, you know, Paul even said there will be some of you who are basically gay, but God's going to wash you, make you clean, make you that new creature in Christ. So I would definitely support something like that because, I mean, there's a guy on TikTok, for instance, his name is Jason. He's a Latina or Hispanic guy. And he was gay for like 30 something years. He looks like, I think he's like in his 50s. He was married to a man and everything, but he found the Lord. And he basically posted a lot talking about how, you know, if you're of that, you know, feeling of homosexuality, that God can deliver you. He's like, God delivered me. I was married to a man, all this stuff. He has a great testimony. He blew up actually on TikTok, but you know, I love talking to him because it's just so sincere. Sincere God. He's just like, man, my life has been changed. And you can literally see the evidence, you know, just talking to him and just like, this is great. You know, he's the only one. There's a lot of other people in there who actually give their testimonies about God changing their lives from that homosexual lifestyle. And it's really amazing. One person was literally about to go through the sex change and all that stuff. And they said God literally spoke to them. They're like, I never had that happen. Told them like that, you shouldn't do that and some other things. And they're like, and I got a revelation that night and started reading my Bible. And then after that, I got saved and God changed me. And I was like, man, like it gives you goosebumps.
That's awesome. Right.
Man, that's the power of God right there. Man. Exactly.
No, that's awesome. I mean, God is awesome. Everything he does is awesome. So I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, that's great, man. Speaking of awesome, man, the heartbeat bill just passed in Texas.
Yes.
People are big mad. People are big mad now.
Big mad.
Yeah. Like they keep bringing up AOC's tweet saying it's just a 2-week missed period, which is one of the most disingenuous and disgusting things you can say about a pregnancy. Oh, it's just a missed period, and then that's how. You know, like it's a human life, but these people don't want to recognize it whatsoever.
I hope she doesn't get pregnant.
My thing is, I like what Ben Shapiro said. So when it's 9 months in the womb, what are you gonna say then? And they literally they're when they try to convey what they're trying to explain when they come from their position of abortion, they try their best not to say baby, but you have to say it because everybody knows it's a baby. But as soon as you
it's a baby, you can't kill it.
you can't kill it, you know. And as soon as they get in a car wreck, it's double homicide. If somebody hits a woman who's pregnant in the car wreck, it's double homicide. But in the womb, it's an abortion. It's a fetus. It's not a baby.
Man. And people call it a baby whenever a celebrity gets pregnant and then they announce that they are pregnant. Oh, they're pregnant with what? Oh, a baby. She's going to have what? A baby. Oh, man. Only they wanted.
Didn't Olivia Wilde do that? I was like, so what is baby subjective? So when you think you have a baby, it's a baby. When somebody else has something in their womb, it's whatever they think it is.
It's a fetus.
Yeah, like
man,
is that
it's not a pizza in the oven? Like, pizza in the oven. Like, what you think this is? Like, what?
Oh.
People, man. I've seen this one circulating, man, because I'm from California, and this is like all the people that I see all California, and this is all in everybody's story. Man shouldn't be making laws about women's bodies. Man should be making laws. How about like people shouldn't be killing babies? I mean, I could put that one a million times. Just like people shouldn't be killing babies. Whether about men making laws about it's whether a man or not, has no bearing on right and wrong with killing a baby. It does not weigh into it. It does not weigh into the fact of you killing babies. Man shouldn't make women shouldn't kill babies. Like what? Like, oh man, now I flipped the script. Oh, I'm a horrible person.
It's so funny because as soon as you say, should I crush it? Can I kill an eagle's egg? Can I crush an eagle's egg? No, that's they're an endangered species. Can you kill a baby in the womb? Oh yeah, that's cool. We literally have more laws for animals than we do for humans, and that's completely sad. And the whole point of making laws, men should make laws for women's body. There was literally women who worked on that bill, like they were behind. What is that?
Right.
Governor Abbott is his name, right? They were behind him. It's like if the woman made the law, would he be behind it? So where's your law? Here's your logic. Men shouldn't make the laws. So if all women, complete women, make that law, would that be fine? So your problem is not with the men because you're going to say no to that question. You're going to say no to that question.
You know what they're going to say. They're going to say women are not supporting women and all of this other mess. They always say about women, liberal women is what it matters because the conservative women don't get they don't get any say with any of it. They get blackballed just like when we talk to black people. Oh, hey, I'm black. I'm not oppressed. All right, bro. Like, let's go find somebody else to talk to. Like every time, that's how it goes, man. It's not unless you fit in the narrative that you're not part of their demographic, what they're looking for. That's how it is, man. It's not just women. It's their women. I just want to say, God bless the state of Texas, and God bless the state of Mississippi because Mississippi's case is going to the Supreme Court. It's called Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Center, which is basically a big code word for Planned Parenthood. It is a Planned Parenthood associate. So in that case will be going before the Supreme Court. It is a direct challenge to Roe v. Wade. And I'm interested to see how the vote goes down. I'm hoping John Roberts does the right thing and do not vote with the liberals, vote with the conservatives. But it's going to come down. But I expect him to vote with the liberals. I really do. So it's going to come down to the 3 justices that President Trump put on the court. It's going to come down to Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. I want to see where they stand on it now.
Do you think they have enough power to overturn?
Well, they do.
I don't think they will.
They have the power to.
Yeah.
They have. I think they have the moral votes to do that. Are they going to actually go on record and say that? Because, and this actually goes back to Marbury versus Madison, which is the Supreme Court case that created judicial review, and gave the Supreme Court power to technically change law. So, if it doesn't go the way the liberals want to, will they actually ignore it? This came up with Brown versus Board of Education. Who's going to actually enforce it?
Right.
It's up to the president at that point to enforce whatever changes the Supreme Court makes. Is Biden going to enforce it? No. But do the justices have the moral capacity to actually vote the way that they know to vote even though they might lose power. So it's a power grab. At the end of the day, so I don't know what's going to happen, but all I'm going to do is sit back and pray. That's all I can do.
Right.
I don't have faith that they're going to do it, man. I don't put my faith in that by any means. This stuff could have been done a long time ago. It hasn't been done now, even with the people that we thought we wanted in there. I just, it'd be nice, but I don't see him doing it. I don't. Honestly, I don't see him taking it up and doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
people
sad.
try to avoid these things. They don't want to rule in these things too much. Like, oh, let's let the states hash it out. Let's not make a,
And that's why I see it.
If they do make a ruling, they'll make a narrow one, and then it'll just be left up, and states are gonna have to figure out what to do with it again. And that's where I don't hold my breath with it.
Right.
Right. I don't think it's going to be a full outlaw.
A moral stance, which they should. Let me say, have that moral stance, like Amy Coney Barrett, and then Gorsuch, and then and then not vote for that way. It's like, what are you there for? Not even there for, but how you in the eyes of whether you're religious or not, of God. Like, if I was in that position, I would just take the flat, because it's my moral duty, from not only for my position, but by God to vote for the life of children. And then that's going to be on my hands if I don't do so. And I wholly believe that those in power who have that opportunity to do something like that, when they don't do it, I mean, we can read, I believe it's Proverbs 24 and around verse 11 and 12, and it talks about those who take no action to save basically the unborn. Like you said, you think nothing's coming towards you. You got something coming,
Right.
So, that's just sad. It's really sad.
I think now, if I were on the court, of course I'm going to vote to either restrict or outlaw abortion totally. But the reaction to it, if Biden doesn't enforce it, and they're no longer respecting the court's opinion, then I would say, as a Supreme Court justice, don't send me any more cases. You don't respect our opinion on it. You don't respect my brilliance. You don't even respect my law degree, or my years on the bench. So you know what? Screw it. Forget it. Don't send me any more cases.
They need to stick to their roles and do what they're supposed to do here. Their job in the Supreme Court is to go out there and interpret the law. And if it's seen that it's depriving a person of liberty, of life, then they should, make those changes in regards to thereof. I mean, it's what they should be doing here. Is what they're supposed to be ruling on. You shouldn't be able to deprive people of life and liberty. Boom. Okay, let's get it solved. Let's get it done.
Right.
And that could be it. We shouldn't be legislating from the bench. We shouldn't be passing way too many executive orders out there, and Congress shouldn't be out there trying to stuff their own pockets every day and trying to act like, the prime execution out there. So, I mean, there's a lot of issues out there with it, but I'm not holding my breath with these people, but I mean, it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. I think it is constitutional. Like, it should be protected here. The right to life. Right. It should be right there. I never saw anywhere that granted it. So, I'm not Tommy Lahren talking about, I'm a constitutional, that's why I support abortion. Like, no, we're not talking about that nonsense, because that's not anywhere mentioned in there. That's totally, so we're not on that wave at all.
Yes. I didn't even know she supported that, bro. Like, I was, when I got told she does. I was like,
oh yeah, man.
Yeah, Tommy Lahren one of those people, man. It's just like
it's the one thing. It's like, you're libertarian, be libertarian. Don't say conservative.
Don't
try to take conservatives with you.
Right.
Don't try to take conservatives to hell with you if you're going. That's where you want to go. Like, they're like, don't try to take it with you.
Just claim to be what you are. I mean, like,
like, quit trying to that. Like, oh man.
But at the same time, like, she's a Christian, right? So, like,
I don't even know. Is she? Like,
I thought she was. I mean, I said to be corrected, but
she's got to work out her own self-salvation, like the Bible says. So
that's the facts, bro.
She gonna have to.
That's between her and God.
Oh, she gonna have to.
I hope to see her up there.
Till that day, I'm gonna be rebuking sin, baby. I'll be out here rebuking it. It'll be like, nah.
Jesus say, rebuking.
I'll be rebuking it, man. I'm all nonsense on it. But
there you go.
Man, what's going on right now? Of all things, we got the Golden State Warriors playing the Memphis Grizzlies right now for the play-in. Steph Curry hopefully goes off. Life's good. If you watch that game on
Mhm.
on Wednesday, you saw LeBron flopping everywhere, acting like a baby. Trash.
The wrestler
absolutely
against the Golden State, bro.
Well, man, yo, those dude, I
They
cannot
love us
believe.
some LeBron.
I cannot. I was like, man, this guy. They're gonna call the flagrant. I'm like, they better not call the flagrant foul on that. Oh, I can't see it. I was still seeing 3 baskets. I'm like, man, like if this is your acting in Space Jam, I'm not watching that trash.
So wait, what? What happened? I couldn't see the game. What happened?
Draymond had a hard foul on him going for the ball, and he inadvertently hit him in the face. And LeBron said he got hit in the eye and he couldn't see straight. And then he hits a game-winning 3-pointer. I was seeing 3 baskets, and I hit the one in the middle. Like he was playing a garbage game. He was playing a trash game, getting knocked down, and then he hits the shot, and everything. And just, it is what it is. But well, let's see, man. I'm not the fan. I'm not that guy. So that's what the Warriors do, man. But everybody, thanks for tuning in. It's been another week of Black Friday. Look forward to talking to y'all next week. Peace out.
All right.
See you.